Alrighty guys, what's up? It is Wednesday. I had mentioned in a video that went up on Monday that I was going to possibly do a channel chat today. So I did talk to Charmaine. We should be ready to go on Monday. You guys should be seeing a book club video. We both needed a little bit of a break, and I'm going to talk about why. And I feel like I owe you guys an explanation because I had promised when my class was done, and my class was done on February 28th, that I would get back to regular like filming and posting, and I feel like I've actually done worse. Because like last week I think I only had a video on Tuesday. The week before that I think I only had like Tuesday and Thursday. So bear with me. But basically my aunt passed away at the beginning of March. And Joe, I said under the TV. That's fine, just switch the baskets. That way it's like stuff for the TV. That's how my brain works. Anyway, sorry. My brain works in different ways. And when my aunt passed away, so she was my grandmother's sister. So it brought up a lot of grief about my grandmother again. You know, I looked at the photos that, because they made like poster boards like to have when you enter the funeral, and there was a lot of pictures of my grandmother on there when she was little. They had asked my mom, because my mom has like all the photo albums that belong to my grandmother. You know, she split it with her sister, but they had called my mom and they were like, oh, can you find old pictures of her? We want to put it on this poster board. And then so my mom was having a rough time, and then seeing my mom have a rough time and thinking about my grandmother, I was having a rough time. I feel like she was like the last connection of my grandmother as a little girl, like if that makes sense. Like obviously I'm still connected to my grandmother through my mom and all that, but someone who knew her when she was young, like even like not even super young, but like even like 18, 19, 20, because she didn't have my mom until she was, she might have been, I think she was young, maybe 21. But even like someone who knew my grandmother as a different person, like not as a mother. You know what I mean? So, and then I also like loved that aunt, I hadn't seen her in a bit. I did visit her around Christmas time, but back in the day, she used to live on the 3rd floor of my mom's building. Now it's her son that lives there where my mom lives. It's a 3 tenement. So that house belongs to the family. And, she used to have like, WWE viewing parties and like stuff like that. And when she did buy a house and move, she had a pool, so a lot of us went over, and so it was a sad time, and like I said, it brought up a lot of grief about my grandmother. I also started therapy, as you guys know, and I'm kind of having mixed feelings about it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is so useful because I'm talking it out and it feels good, but I talk it out with you guys. Like, there's not that much difference from what I'm doing right now to what I do in therapy. So I'm like, is it really beneficial for me? Because I obviously like pay a copay every time. And she obviously does give me suggestions, but it's been nothing like, oh my God, like this was so helpful. I mean, I don't know. And then in a few weeks, I think I'm going to do like a whole video about like my therapy and stuff like that. Because that was one of my goals for 2025 was to take care of my mental health. So I really wanted to do that. And along with that, I started a new medication. I started Wellbutrin. And Wellbutrin is supposed to help with depression. And it also helps with some ADHD symptoms. So that's a whole nother video I was going to do for you guys. But I'll just say it in this video. But basically, I believe I have ADHD. So I have never been officially tested. But knowing what I know about special ed now, because we have a lot of kids that get IEPs for ADHD. Not everyone has ADHD needs an IEP, but definitely some. In fact, Joe had an IEP when he was in like elementary school due to his ADHD. But then in middle school, he didn't need the IEP anymore. But anyway, knowing what I know about special ed, I went to go see my doctor in August, and I kind of was like very like, okay, this is what I'm going to tell her, because I feel like ADHD is just so popular right now, like on TikTok and Instagram, everyone thinks they have it, and I was like, I feel like she's not going to take me seriously. But I kind of went in there as like, I'm a special ed teacher, I know what ADHD is, I know the science behind it, I see students with it every day, and I truly think I have it. Not the high energy kind. Like my mom's like, you're the least energetic ADHD person I ever met. And that's kind of like a myth. In kids, 100,000%, 99% of the time, they don't sit still, whatever. Obviously, it shows different in adults and also shows very different in women. But big signs for me was like people with ADHD struggle with keeping routines. They struggle with the simplest things. Like me, I struggle with just like washing my face every morning. And how simple is washing? There's women, literally, I have friends of mine that will FaceTime me, and every single day they get out of the shower, they do their skincare routine, they put on their little eye mask, and I say, you do that every night? And they're like, yeah. And I said, why can't I do that? Like, I don't, and I know that sounds so simple, but in my brain, it just doesn't compute, and it's not that simple. They also, on top of, are being not good with routines, they're usually people that are messy. And I will say I'm organized at work, and I'm at work, even at home, like I know where things are. Like I just told Joe, like, oh, can you fix that basket? Like I want the DVDs under the TV. But there are areas of my home that are very messy. I say all the time, it's a disorganized mess. It's messy, but I know where the things are. But I am sick of living in the mess. I think that is one of the biggest things with my mental health. So I'm really trying to work on that. That's why I'm shopping more intentionally, buying less things, giving things away, stuff like that. Anyway, make sure you put just Christmas in there. And then, okay. I need to help Joe, so I'm going to keep this one short. It's not going to be super long. But, so Wellbutrin is supposed to help with ADHD symptoms without you taking, like, an amphetamine, like, you know, what's really popular, like Ritalin. Because I don't want to get to the point where I need those things. So I figured with Wellbutrin, it could do 2 birds with 1 stone, my ADHD symptoms and my depression. So she started me on 150, and she said a lot of people need 300, but she's like, we'll start you at 150 before we do the 300, because insomnia is a side effect. So they say to take the pill as early as possible, and appetite suppressant is a side effect. I have been fine. Like, I eat. Girl, if you see me, I eat. Do I eat a little less? Possibly. I haven't really noticed, but I'm not eating. So that's been fine. And you guys know, sleep has never been my problem. Like, I fall asleep so easily. My problem has always been waking up. And so far, I haven't had any problems with that. I even managed a nap the other day. And I was like, wow, I really thought I would never take a nap on this pill again. Like, the way she said it, she's like, make sure you take it early. And I have been. So, and I'm taking it every day, guys. See what I mean? ADHD brain. Taking a medication should not be that difficult. But for me, it is. I would go days without taking a medication and forget. So what I did, and this is something my therapist did recommend, it's called habit stacking. And basically, I kept my pills next to my eyeglasses. And every morning when I wake up, it is the first thing I do. When I put on my eyeglasses, I open the pill and I take it. So she upped me from 150 to 300 within like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I was on the 300. And my school went on lockdown. And it was a really scary experience. I feel really bad for the kids in America. Like, they should not have to deal with this. There shouldn't be a such thing as a school shooting. But sadly, it is very real in our lifetime right now. And me being a teacher, it is scary. So it happened, and we've had drills, but, you know, they last like 2 to 5 minutes. And, you know, it's like, okay, all clear. And we've had that before. But this time, it felt real. Because me and the kids went into the bathroom. They always say the more doors, the better. So we blocked the front door. We threw as many desks and things as we could while the kids ran to the bathroom. Me and the para did that. And then me and the paraprofessional ran into the bathroom, locked the door. And we were in that bathroom, guys, for half hour. No word of a lie. I timed it because the period ends at 9:52. And at 9:45, I always check, like, look up. So I know at 9:50, I'll tell the kids to pack up. I had looked, that can go in that box. I was like, it's 9:45. So I'm like, I still have like 5 more minutes. And like right after I said that, that's when it went off. And then we left the bathroom at 10:15. So from what I heard, it wasn't a drill, but there was also no threat. I guess basically something triggered it in the system, but they had to treat it like a real one because it happened. So the police were right there and they had to search and do all these things. So it took a half hour, and it was literally the scariest half hour of my life in that bathroom. And I know that's like sounds like a lot, but it's scary, like so scary. And I kept hearing things. I'm like, oh my God, are they in my room? Are they moving my desks right now? Like, and I still don't know to this day, like, was I really hearing those things, or was it in my imagination? I could have been hearing it from the other classrooms. The walls are thin, and it was so scary. Like, do I like jump in front of this child and take a bullet for them if it comes to that point? You know, I shouldn't even have to think of those things. But for that half hour, I really had to. I feel like I'm about to cry. I texted Joe. I texted my mom. So when I told the doctor this, she was like, okay, so we're going to up you to 450. So she said, most people do okay with 300. Some people need more, and that's okay. So she upped me to 450 because it was a rough few weeks. And even my therapist said, wow, you went through a lot in a few weeks. Between my aunt passing away, the grief about my grandmother, and the lockdown at my school, my anxiety has been through the roof. And I thought, like, being out of school, that I was like, oh, things are going to get better. And I feel like I keep getting knocked down. And it's like, even though school's over, other things are happening. And my depression has took a full hit. It's gotten better in the last like week and a half, but there was like a good week, 2 weeks where I was like a zombie. I was just waking up, going to work, and coming home. Where I was crying at the drop of a hat. I would talk to a coworker and stop crying. Obviously we weren't talking about work. We were talking about more personal things. But, and I'm not like that. Like, I don't usually cry in front of people. So, and it's funny because I do cry sometimes on these videos. But usually around people, like, I can hold it together. Like, even that lockdown, the second the kids left, I started shaking and crying. I kept it together the whole time with them. But the second it was over, like, my whole body just, like, went. The whole fight or flight, and finally, because it was over, I was able to just like, whew, and then I just started crying. So all that has like really been a damper, and it's been hard. So I haven't been able to edit the vlogs and do the things that I want to do for you guys. But I did film a video for Tuesday. I filmed a video for What's Up Wednesday. I filmed a video for Thursday. I'm going to try my best to get a vlog for you guys out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will see. So don't hold me to it, but I promise, like, the second I can do it, I will do it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm only human. I know you guys are okay with that. You guys are amazing and you love and support me. But I just wanted to let you know basically what was going on. It has been a tough few weeks, honestly, like between my aunt passing away, thinking about my grandmother, and the lockdown and other personal things. It's been rough. March was a really hard month. And I know Charmaine was having a rough March as well. And March is the only month in the school calendar where there is not a vacation or a Monday holiday, or, a holiday in general, whatever. So we, like, March feels long because we don't have any days off. Every month we at least have like one Monday holiday or a half day or something like that. March is the only one that we don't. And it's also like end of winter, beginning of spring. Like, it's still cold here. So it's like kind of dreary. You're just kind of like, oh my God, is it spring yet? You know what I mean? It's still kind of cold. So March has always been rough, but has been extra rough this year for sure. So that is it. Wish me luck. If you guys want a whole separate video on, what was I going to say? Oh, I didn't even finish the whole ADHD chat. I'll do that quickly. But if you guys want a whole separate video on my therapy, let me know. So my doctor actually agreed with me. And my doctor was like, I think if you say you have ADHD, let's try something. So she put me on a med that is more specific for ADHD people. But I wasn't a fan. I didn't think it was Ritalin. I thought it was, she didn't call it Ritalin, but my friend said it basically is Ritalin. It's just the like generic version because she has diagnosed ADHD and she takes it. So I guess I was on it for a little while and didn't know. I don't know. But it was a short time because that specific pill, you have to see a doctor every 3 months, at least here in Massachusetts. At least that's what my doctor told me. Sometimes I wonder, because I feel like because I'm fat, they just want to see me to tell me to lose weight and make insurance money. But anyway, so I didn't get to go back to my 3-month appointment in November. So she wouldn't sign off for me to get another prescription. And it was because my car didn't start. So it wasn't like me just avoiding her. And then it was the holidays. And I was like, so that's why I talked to her again finally in January, and I was like, I need something else. I can't have a pill where I have to see you every 3 months, because I'm just too busy. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm better than anybody else or anything like that. And maybe because I don't prioritize my health. You guys prioritize your health more. But, you know, there's different meds out there. So I'm trying a med where I don't have to see every 3 months. And I get like medical anxiety, and you know, I got to pay a copay. It's not free. And like I said, I feel like she's just doing it to watch my weight, which I get it. She's a doctor. It's fine. But if I can not see her every 3 months, I would rather do that. So that's why she's putting me on the Wellbutrin now, because she said it'll be like double duty, because it'll help with the depression and help with the ADHD symptoms without being like a Ritalin. So, and then that one she can prescribe to me like a year at a time. Like I don't have to like go every 3 months for like a renewal or whatever. So I had ADHD, but I was never like officially tested. I'm assuming I have ADHD. I don't know the whole thing. And I asked a few people, and I'm in like a support group, and I said, I feel weird saying I have it because I wasn't actually diagnosed. And she's like, you're lucky, because those tests are a process. You have to see multiple different doctors. It takes hours. You have to do one thing with somebody else, one thing with another person. So they were like, you actually, like, good for you that you didn't have to get those tests done. So, but then somebody else was like, oh, you should get the testing done, because then you can get like accommodations for school. Because I really feel like that's why I struggle with school. I struggle with, like, you know, focusing on school assignments. I hyperfixate at work, which is also an ADHD symptom. That's why I'm really good at work and ahead, and I get things done. But when it comes to like my life stuff, and I put it on the back burner, like cleaning my house, like doing my self-care. But I was like, at this point, I'm almost done with school. That would have helped me 2 years ago when I first started, or a year and a half ago, whatever. But so I don't know. I keep going back and forth. If you guys want to give me your opinion, if you think I should get tested or not, you can put it in the comments. Obviously, ultimately, it's my decision. We will see. But I am officially on the 450 of Wellbutrin. I think that's the highest dose. Like, that's how she made it seem. She said most people are 300. Some people need 450. And I've been on that for about a week now. And she wants to see me. It's actually a different doctor. I'm seeing this doctor through Zoom. So it's a little different. It's like one specific for like medication versus my other like primary doctor. So she's the one that actually recommended the Wellbutrin. I haven't seen my primary yet. I have to go see her soon. And then I know I got to explain everything to her, because I haven't been on the Ritalin, and I've been on a different pill and all these things, but my body, my choice. So anyway, I'm checking in with her. I think Joe's giggling at me. I have a Zoom appointment next week, and she just wants to see how the 450 has been since, like, it's only been a week. So she's like, I'll check in with you again next week. I see her on Tuesdays through Zoom, and she's like, just because I want to make sure you're not having no appetite and you're not having the insomnia issues, because if you are, we can do something else. But so far, so good. So if you guys want, like I said, a therapy chat or another check-in with the Wellbutrin, let me know, because that is something I can do for sure. I hope you guys enjoy the channel chat. I know some of you guys like the chatty videos, and you should definitely see a video tomorrow. I already filmed it, and I'm going to edit it right now. I will do my best to get a vlog for the weekend. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for loving and supporting me, and be safe.